And welcome everybody to the DropZone podcast with your favorite hosts, Dope Ass Jeff and Big Time Tony. How's everybody doing this New Year's Eve?
Happy New Year's Eve, everyone.
Uh, so we would like to say we apologize for last week not being on. My back was killing me and I had a really bad migraine. So we do apologize for not being on. But we're going to make up twice the fun this weekend. We're going to have you guys entertained.
Thank you, Anne. Yes, Dakota, we will get into the Lions debacle sometime soon.
We definitely will get into that. Even though it's not on our run sheet, but yes, we will be getting into it. So how's your week been, buddy?
Not too bad. Just Thursday was the worst day ever, but I'm over it. It's a new week, a new day. So, sorry, how was your week? I know work was probably crazy as all hell.
Actually, not this week.
Last week was.
Last week was. But now that Christmas is over, everything's pretty much back down to being slow and stuff like that. So you ready to get into it, buddy?
Yes, I am, Tony.
All right, our first topic. The Raiders plan to release Jimmy Garoppolo after the season. Yeah, that's because you was in the other store. That's why.
The Raiders kind of drama continues. I mean, they paid Jimmy G how much money? I think this past offseason, and now they're ready to release him.
Yeah. It pretty much goes to show that he definitely was a product of the 49ers system. Because soon as he got to Las Vegas, yeah, he really wasn't much of anything at that point.
No.
Go ahead. You was gonna say something?
Yeah. Just you think every quarterback that's in that system there in Las Vegas, or no, in San Francisco, yeah, always succeeds. Like there's always success. You think of Brock Purdy. If he's in any other system, I don't know if he's as good as he is with all that talent around him. Jimmy G, and you think of the backups that they've had there as well in that same system. They've looked like very decent quarterbacks. As soon as they go somewhere else, it's like watching a completely different guy. It really is.
Yeah. I think it's because with the 49ers system, it's you get the ball out of your hands quickly. So, with that system, I can understand why he looks better because he's not standing there holding the ball and waiting for a play to develop. It's 3 steps and then the ball's out your hand, which is the product of the West Coast system. So, we'll have to see how Trey Lance will look if he ever gets a shot in Dallas. Because, for a while he looked good at starting San Fran. We see what Brock Purdy's doing. So it's just a matter of time to see, if it's the system or maybe just Jimmy G was just that really bad of a quarterback.
Hmm.
I'm going with the latter. I'm just saying. Because remember, they put up what was it? 60 something points.
3, I think.
Yeah, because if they would have scored another touchdown, they would have beat the Dolphins with points for the season for winning the game with an unknown quarterback. So I mean, if they're doing that with an unknown quarterback and Jimmy G is now off the field on the verge of not having a job, I'm like I said, I'm going with the latter that he's just a shitty ass quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he hasn't played since Halloween. That was the last time he's played due to injuries and then being benched. In the 6 games that he played, he had 1,205 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions with a QBR of 34.7.
Yeah. That's a shitty ass quarterback.
Yeah, that's in 6 games. Which I think he got knocked out of probably like 1 or 2 with the concussions. But
he was knocked out of like 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this. Again, I think he was just signed this offseason to.
Yeah, he was.
And he's already more than likely getting cut. Was not expecting that from Jimmy G.
I don't think anybody was. But sticking with that same theme, even though he wasn't on our topic, because we're actually doing last week's topic run sheet, so we're going to be adding stuff in between. The Broncos are going to be planning on releasing Russell Wilson.
Yeah, they benched him for the last 2 games for what is that dummy's name? I haven't written down for
Jason
Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
I mean, we were not really calling for it last year. Almost all last year. I mean, he was not great last year. Even this year, he's been better. It's been his defense that can't kind of keep him in games. When your defense gives up almost 70, there's not much you can really do.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it did get better for a decent stretch there. One of those 5-6 games in a row. It was turning in the right direction. But
5 in a row, got them back in the playoff hunt, and then it just all fell apart again.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year, Brian.
Happy New Year. I don't know why Denver doesn't try and find a trade for him, because that's how they got him there, was a trade. So at least try and get something out of what you traded away, because I think that they traded away.
Who's going to want to take that contract?
Yeah, that's a hefty contract. What is it, like 40-some mil? Is that what that is? For an aging quarterback in his final years in the NFL, unfortunately, he's not as mobile as he used to be. And that Broncos offense has not looked good, I think, ever since he got there. Has not looked like it needs to. Hasn't been running well. I mean, it doesn't help the injuries that he's had to his wide receivers. And Javonte Williams can't stay healthy for anything right now. He's always getting injured. So that does not help at all. Bless you.
Thank you.
He's played in pretty
And
much
also,
every game this season.
and it also didn't help that they traded away Noah Fant, which was one of their best weapons, to get him. So now you subtracted weapons from him to get him, and then you put him in a system where it was just a fucking nightmare. When they had Nathaniel Hackett, it was just a fucking nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
We all thought when they signed Sean Payton, everybody was thinking, okay, he might be able to turn the career around like he did with Drew Brees. Yeah, that's obviously not happening. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't see him ever being a starter again. I see him more as just a backup now, unless the team is really desperate for a quarterback.
Like the Falcons, maybe? I don't know.
Possibly.
There's a handful of teams that could definitely use Russell Wilson right now. I would say Falcons, Commanders, Giants, maybe, because you guys have a 3-man rotating shithole of QBs right now. And again, if I were to think, there's probably a few more, but like again, he's definitely better than last season.
I agree.
He has definitely looked a lot better than last season. You know, he had 3,070 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, which is tied 6th in the NFL with the 50.5 QBR, which is 21st in the NFL. Yep, but those are another 2 teams. But the Panthers wouldn't take that contract, or I mean, they'll have to obviously restructure it, especially with them drafting Bryce Young first overall in this past draft, which yes, he hasn't looked good, but I don't think that they'd move on from that quick.
And to be honest with you, it's really not Bryce Young's fault. That's just a shitty ass team altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. As far as the Titans, I mean, you would think with Derrick Henry and Hopkins, you know, you would have some form of offense. They just can't put anything together.
Not consistent.
It's only for like a game.
Mm-hmm. Like they'll finally remember for like a game that they have, you know, get Derrick Henry in the backfield and actually run with him, and then they win, and then in the next game they look like shit again.
Yeah, I agree. All right, I think we're gonna skip the second topic because we really don't give a damn about Aaron Rodgers. We already knew his season was over. But the next topic is going to be very interesting. Lions offensive coordinator wants $15 million to become a head coach. I'll let you take this one first, Jeff.
Okay. That's stupid. You know, yes, the Lions have turned it around in these past couple years, thanks to Dan Campbell, their OC, just the whole team in general. I can't even just name one key reason, but to have 2 good years now, about that 2 or 3 good years now, and you think you're worth for $15 million to be a head coach? No. You're great OC. But the problem with the Lions right now is they are inconsistent with their offense.
Yes, you heard correctly, Brian.
$15 million to be a head coach. The Lions offense is very inconsistent. We don't know what offense we're going to get every week. They can have 2 weeks of unreal offense, and then they play like they played Saturday night against the Cowboys, which we'll get into that game. I just don't got much more to say. Just sorry, but no, maybe at the most $10 million to be a head coach a year for him, but not $15 million over just 2 or 3 years of success being an OC in Detroit.
Okay, where do I start? Okay, first of all, now I know there's also been a report saying that was not completely accurate, that's not what he was actually saying. But the fact that the story made it out, obviously he's somewhat said it to somebody, because nobody's just going to come out there and just say, oh, yeah, the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator wants $15 million to become a head coach. Nobody's going to just randomly come out and say some dumb shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he obviously did say it. Now his agent is trying to put the fire out, because if any team that pays is going to pay a rookie head coach, well, basically he'll be basically a rookie head coach, $15 million, they need their fucking head examined. The Lions offense, like you said, is a little too inconsistent at times. I mean, just look at the dud they laid against the Bears in the second game. So I mean, give him $15 million to be a head coach. You got to be really scatterbrained for that shit. That means that somebody that's talking to Roger Goodell say, hey, let's make up a story to get this shit going, so we can get people pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Which wouldn't surprise me. Exactly. Child, please. I said, now, you said maybe 10 million. I'll say more like maybe 7, 8. Just for the simple fact that this will be his first time being a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't want to give a first-time head coach that much money, and then they turn out to be basically a dud, and now that's another contract you got to eat. So yeah, I mean, if he was really serious about wanting $15 million, he needs to get his fucking head examined, because he's not worth $15 million. He's maybe worth half of that. And I'm being nice about that.
Yeah. There's about 3 organizations that I can think of right now that would actually do that $15 million. The Panthers.
The Bears.
Well, there's 4. The Bears. The Commanders would do that, especially with how they've...
I don't know.
No, yeah. With the new ownership.
With their new owners, I don't see them doing that.
But the previous owners.
Oh, yeah. Daniel Snyder would have done it.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what the 4th team was, but yeah, there's a few teams out there. And the Falcons, since they still haven't gotten rid of Arthur Smith, they would definitely pay $15 million to the Lions OC to become their head coach.
Which is still puzzling to me.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck they haven't gotten rid of him yet? So, Uh, okay, moving on to our next topic. Knicks center Mitchell Robinson is done for the season. I believe it was a knee injury. I believe that put him out.
Yeah, with centers, it is normally a knee injury.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge loss because he's a major part of their defense, not their offense. I mean, but he's a major
good
part
lob
of this.
threat. He's a good lob threat. That's pretty much
it. He's basically a younger DeAndre Jordan, or younger version of DeAndre Jordan. That's all DeAndre Jordan was: a rebounder, shot blocker, and just throw up lobs and he dunks it.
Yeah, he underwent surgery on his ankle.
Oh, was ankle?
Yeah.
Well, maybe if he had a cheeseburger or something, he wouldn't be so frail.
And he is very skinny.
Yeah.
It's like try just a taller me. It's just a 7-foot me. That's what he is out
Pretty
there.
Much. And actually, I think you got more meat on your body than he does. Also, sticking with the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, thanks, Brian. Me too. They also made a trade with the Raptors, which I was hoping we're almost going to be on for this one.
Maybe next week, because he's still going to be fuming.
Yeah.
From this trade. A lot of Knicks fans are going to be fuming.
Yeah, maybe we should save that for next week.
Well, I mean, it goes with what we're talking about with the Knicks right now. And it makes sense kind of with the player that they got in this trade. Not just OG Anunoby, but Precious Achua, which is a center that he actually drafted a few years ago. He's about a 6'10", 6'11" center who can actually shoot threes. He's not just going to be in the paint like Hartenstein or Mitch Robinson, but Hartenstein, he can shoot threes too. So Achua is a good backup center if you guys want, or if the Knicks want to use him as the starter, they could do that as well. But this trade to me doesn't make a lot of sense looking at the stats of OG, Precious Achua, and the guard Malachi Flynn that the Knicks got in this deal for RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and a 2024 second-round pick.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me as well. I know Owen wasn't a huge fan of RJ Barrett. But yeah, giving up him quickly and draft picks, yeah, that's once again the Knicks being the damn Knicks again.
I mean, yeah, Anunoby's averaging better field goal percentage, both 3-point and normal. But in more minutes, he's averaging less points than RJ Barrett, less rebounds, and just a little bit more assists in more minutes. He's getting about 4 more minutes a game than RJ Barrett, and he's averaging less points.
And he's going to a team where he's going to be like the third, maybe the fourth option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Quickly's averaging more points than obviously Malachi Flynn and Achua combined with his 24 minutes game and 15 points a game. Of course, there you go. Again, I don't understand it. Yes, I understand the Knicks have been looking or eyeing OG Anunoby for a long time, but with the season that he's having right now, I mean, it's not the season to go get him.
No.
Like, he's not, like, this is not his best season right now. Maybe with the Knicks will get better, but yeah, right now he's a good role player that, I mean, he's definitely started in this league, but he's not playing or living up to that expectation because he was about this, to me, second option alongside Pascal. And, to only average 15.1 points per game in 33 minutes. Not about average shooting. Is not, to me, good enough to trade RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly for him.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I said, the Knicks being the Knicks. They can't seem to get out their own damn way.
Hey, what do we know? This trade could somehow work out for them in the long run.
Which it probably will. That's how it always usually ends up.
Mm.
All right, moving on. So our next topic is one of your favorites. The NFL updates.
All right, so I don't have them from last week because that was last week. There's almost no point to them from last week. Only this week, and by God, is there a lot. And I put one player at the end that I want to just get your opinion on why he wasn't playing tonight. So I'll read up. Yep, you know what I'm talking about.
This is going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Stick around, folks.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll try and get through these as quick as I can so I can get to that last player. Jackson Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence with a shoulder injury, he was out versus the Panthers. Did matter. I mean, you're playing the Carolina Panthers. You can afford to sit Trevor Lawrence for.
I agree.
Chicago wide receiver Darnell Mooney with a concussion, he was out versus the Falcons. Las Vegas was without running back Josh Jacobs and tight end Michael Mayer against the Indianapolis Colts today. Josh Jacobs had a quad injury and Michael Mayer had a toe injury. The Colts running back Zach Moss with a forearm injury, he was out versus Las Vegas. And game time decision guy Kenny Moore, their cornerback, number 2 cornerback in the NFL right now, with a back injury, he was out versus the Raiders. So that was a big loss for them today. The Eagles, fly, as they say. They lost to. They were without cornerback Darius Slay with an injury versus the Cardinals. Cardinals unfortunately had to place wide receiver Marquise Brown with a heel injury on IR on Friday, so he's out for the rest of the year for the Cardinals. Miami had 2 key injuries today. Running back Raheem Mostert with a knee and ankle injury, he was out versus Baltimore. And the wide receiver Jalen Waddle with an ankle injury, he was out as well.
And there was 2 more injuries in that game as well. Cornerback, I think his name is Chad Hubbard. He went down with a possible torn ACL today in today's game. And
Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And Tua actually went out with a possible shoulder injury.
Awesome. The walk-in hospital bill is back. I was waiting for it.
What was that?
I said the walking hospital bill is back. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the way he got hurt, it was bizarre because he was literally sliding to get down, and as he was sliding to get down, he got hit from the back, which forced him to end up being landing on his shoulder. So yeah.
New England receiver Juju Smith-Schuster with an ankle injury. He was placed on IR, so he's out for the season.
Yes, we know, Brian. The 49ers are the number one seed in the NFC.
New England tight end Hunter Henry with an injury. He was out versus Buffalo. And the safety of the Patriots, Jabril Peppers with a hamstring injury. He was out as well. Tampa Bay defense was missing some key guys today. Their defensive end, Shaq Barrett, with a groin injury. He was out Sunday versus the Saints. And their cornerback, Carlton Davis, with a concussion. He was out as well. Washington. They named Jacoby Brissett their starting QB now, but his body said no. With an illness, he was out Sunday versus the Niners, so it was Sam Howell once again. Even though he got benched, he was not picking that starting role for them.
There's a surprise.
Yeah. San Francisco wide receiver Jawan Jennings with concussion, he was out versus the Commanders. Pittsburgh linebacker Elandon Roberts with a pectoral injury, he was out versus the Seahawks. And Mika Fitzpatrick with a knee injury, he was out as well. This is interesting. Defensive end Frank Clark was released by Seattle Saturday. He was injured, but he was healthy scratches, and then I looked more into it. He was actually just released Saturday by the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think I got something on my phone about that. I just wasn't paying attention to it.
Yeah, he was healthy scratches in 6 of his 9 games that he played for the team after they re-signed him.
So obviously he pissed somebody off.
Seattle was without their star safety Jamal Adams because he was out with a knee injury, and he was placed on IR actually on Saturday. So unless they make a deep run in the playoffs, his season is done.
Which I don't see them making a deep run in the playoffs.
No. Kansas City wide receiver Kadarius Toney with a hip injury, he was out versus the Bengals. I'm sure.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure Mahomes was happy about it anyway. He was like, yes. I don't know about trying to throw it to him.
I'm sure they all was happy.
All right, he's not going to line up off sides. He's not going to drop any passes. Perfect.
Yep.
Denver wide receiver Cortland Sutton with a concussion, he was out versus the Chargers. Keenan Allen for the Chargers was with a heel injury, he was out. Their other wide receiver Josh Palmer with a concussion, he was out, and their defensive end Joey Bosa with a foot injury, he was out versus Denver. Minnesota cornerback Byron Murphy Jr. with an injury, he was out versus Green Bay. Green Bay's cornerback Eric Stokes with a hamstring injury, he was out versus Minnesota. And this guy, Green Bay cornerback Jair Alexander, he was out today because he was suspended by the team for last Sunday. They played in Carolina, which is where he's from, and he made himself the 4th team's captain. There's 3 per game that go out for the coin toss, and he walked out there with them. And not caring what any of the coaches wanted, he made every call, heads or tails, whether they want to receive it or not, what way they want to go.
Yeah. He's going to be cut at the end of the season. He won't be there much longer. If he don't get cut already. That takes some balls.
Mm-hmm. Just to say, no, it's my hometown. I'm going out there. I don't care.
Yeah, that takes some balls. I don't even know what to really say about that.
It's just stupid. Like it's just so like I get it. You're in your hometown, and the coaches make so like if those watching don't know that the coaches make choices before every game who the 3 team captains are who will go out for the coin toss. And I don't remember the 3 people who they were. But again, he just made himself the 4th one, and he walked out with them. And again, and then those 3 players all talk to the head coach of what they want to do with the coin toss if we win it, like what we're going to call it, like what's going to happen with it. He wasn't a part of that conversation at all. And he went out there and he made every call, heads, tails, if we receive or to defer, everything. And then in his post-game comments, didn't help him either.
That's when you just pull one of your teammates aside and the coach will be like, hey, you won't even mind, if I replace you as a team captain and if it's coach, if it's all right to my hometown. Let's be a little bit smart about it. Don't just say, okay, I'm just going to go out there. I don't care what anybody says. Fuck the NFL and their rules. I'm just going to make up my own. Yeah, that's going to get you a one-way ticket to Couchville.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't even have anything else to say about that. That's just sheer stupidity.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I got nothing. I just wanted to see what you were gonna say about that, because I found it funny. It's not that funny, but
no, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
The Kansas City Chiefs have clinched their 8th straight AFC West title with the win today.
Ooh. What a surprise.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the only team that actually gave them competition was maybe the Broncos?
Yeah. I think pretty much just the Broncos, yeah. Hold on, let me find something, because you're gonna...
Because the Chargers were a no-show.
Yeah.
The Raiders were...
trash.
The Raiders was just a joke. So, yeah, I mean, I would have been shocked if they wouldn't have won the division.
Here it is. The NFL has placed Colts tight end Drew Ogletree on the commissioner's exempt list after this Friday afternoon arrest on domestic violence charges. Yeah.
My head hurts. What are these idiots going to fucking learn?
So here's more on it. He was arrested in Hendricks County for alleged domestic battery committed in physical presence of a child less than 16 and domestic battery resulting in moderate bodily injury. Both charges appear to be felonies.
I give up. Because these idiots are never going to learn. They're never going to learn.
We could say it so we are blue in the face, Tony.
I know.
Nothing's going to change. It's going to be...
We could discuss it every single episode. It's going to be the same thing.
Every single year, there's going to be some idiots that get arrested for domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we can move on. I just wanted to tell you that little bit of info.
All right, next up is our weekly recap. So do we want to start off with that god awful
officiating? Yeah, because the Thursday night game, Jets and Browns, Jets lost 20-37. The legend of Joe Flacco is well and alive, and I am shocked. This isn't what I was expecting from Joe Flacco, but he's looked really, really good. That's all I could say on that game. And now, the most controversial game of the week so far.
Lions,
of the year. The Lions lose 19-20 against the Dallas Cowboys. And the refs. Boy, were the refs terrible. This crew has been terrible all year. Not just in this game. It's been terrible all year. Missing calls left and right.
So, for those of you who didn't see the end of the game, the Lions had scored a touchdown to bring the game within 1 point. They went for the 2-point conversion to win the game. And it was a successful 2-point conversion. But the officials decided that they wanted to throw a flag. 30 seconds later, let me repeat that. 30 seconds, not immediately. That's when the snap happened. 30 seconds after the play. So they was literally celebrating when the flag came out. Now, for people who don't know how the NFL works, before the start of every game, the head coaches do talk to the officials about trick plays that they're going to run. Dan Campbell informed the officials that there will be a time when number 68 will be reported as an eligible receiver. Now, Dan Campbell wanted to keep Dallas guessing, so he sent 3 of his linemen out there. 2 of them was already at the ref discussing it, and you can see Jared Goff literally telling the lineman to go report to the official that you're eligible. As he's telling the official he's an eligible receiver, the official's ignoring him and looking at number 70. So once the play happened, number 68 was the one who caught the touchdown pass, or the 2-point conversion. And again, like I said, 30 seconds later, not immediately, not when the ball was snapped and he got into the end zone. 30 seconds later, after they're celebrating, is when the flag came out. And you can see all the officials were confused, and they just said, okay, let's just call him that he was an ineligible receiver. when he actually reported as an eligible receiver. This officiating crew has been awful all year. This was the same officiating crew that blew calls in the Kansas City Green Bay game. And the NFL has came out with a statement that this crew will not be officiating any playoff games at all this season. Now, this does affect Detroit a great deal of a bit because with that win, Detroit would have been at least a lock for the number 2 seed. Now Dallas is sitting in that number 2 spot, especially with the Eagles pulling another choke job, which we'll get into as well. So yeah, these officials are costing teams playoff seedings. Some of them is actually costing them a chance to get to the playoffs, and I mean it's just getting ridiculous. I mean it's really ridiculous. I mean,
I think so.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it was in Dallas.
Gary Jones got a lot of money.
Yes, he does.
I'm looking at the video right now, and the way you explained it is perfect. You could see Brad Allen talking to number 58 and number 68. And 68, you can clearly see talking to him, and Brad Allen shaking his head, okay.
Yeah.
But what he did was announce number 70 as eligible, not number 68. Even though he was stood right in front of him talking to him. And then Brad Allen, after the game, said he never saw 68 say anything to him.
Even though he was standing right in front of him.
And he shook his head at him. Like, looked right at him. Like, there's a close-up of it. Like, you could see his eyes go to number 68 and go, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, the officials it's just getting worse. And now it's really affecting the integrity of the NFL. And at this point, this is where Mr. Jackass himself
Oh boy. Oh boy.
needs to actually do something about it. Because if you're going to continue to allow this to happen, you're going to start losing fans. Because now people is already saying the NFL's rigged, especially since with the Super Bowl logo colors, which they've changed for the third time now. Which ironically is, have you seen the colors for this one?
No.
Kansas City red and Dallas blue.
That makes last sense. Debacle of a end game look a lot more suspect.
So like I said, Mr. Jackass himself needs to seriously get this taken care of. Because for $1 billion league to be having officials look this horrible, especially that specifically that officiating crew. Now, we all know they're human. They're going to make mistakes. But this crew looks like they're deliberately trying to cost teams games.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, the coaches have to inform the refs of certain trick plays, just for the simple fact that it involves offensive linemen reporting as eligible receivers, because you only allow to have so many go out for passes. So they have to report him as an eligible receiver. Otherwise, you know, you get penalized for you get a flag for it.
This is a crazy stat. I don't know if it's this year or if it's just in total in Brad Allen's reffing career. But he's officiated 6 Lions games, and Detroit is 0-6 in those games. The Lions penalty yards awarded, which means penalties called against the other teams, 287 yards. Other team penalty yards awarded, 435 yards against the Lions that have been accepted and enforced.
So now this is starting to look like the Chris Paul and what's his, that one NBA official
Scott
that has
Frost.
an issue with Chris Paul. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just stumbled across this. That's horrible.
Yeah. Because now it seems like that official has something against the Detroit Lions. I don't know if he maybe was born and raised and was a Lion fan and just I don't know, but that makes it even more suspicious.
Rex Ryan's statement on this morning on NFL and ESPN: "Be a man and take responsibility." To Brad Allen. The thing that bothers me the most is that we're putting the blame on the players. Stop. The players did everything right.
He's right.
Mm-hmm. And in this video, I have it on mute, but he is animated. Rex Ryan is.
Yeah, it was going to get up It was going to get up. I think this morning. Well, no, it wasn't going to get up this morning.
No, it's on Sunday NFL Countdown.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure they'll talk about it on Get Up in the morning.
On First Take, we just happen to beat them both to it, which I enjoy. But yeah, I'm sure they're gonna rip that officiating crew apart.
Yeah, and this is the same crew from I think 2 weeks ago. In the Browns and Bears game, where there should have been a roughing the passer called on Zadarius Smith with a hit on Justin Fields. He clearly let the ball go, and Fields got absolutely leveled, and there was no roughing that the passer called.
Yeah,
but then Zadarius Smith was later fined for that same hit. But there was no penalty called.
Which is basically the NFL saying, yeah, they fucked up and missed the call.
But that costed the Bears the game, because I think it was a Hail Mary at like the end of the first half, I think, maybe. Because it wasn't the one at the end of the game. It was the one at the end of the first half, I believe. And that could have gotten them into field goal range.
Yeah.
But I'm just sick and tired of talking about the officials more than we're talking about
the game
and the players in that game. I know. Like, we're sick of it. I mean, I can imagine how the analysts are sick of it. Because they have to talk about it every single day. Like, this is us once a week talking about it. This is them every single day they talk about it. But, again, this crew in particular, I mean, refs this year have not looked good at all. But, again, this crew
has looked the worst.
The worst out of all of them. And rightfully so, they will not officiate any playoff games.
I mean, which is a good start, but they need to literally dismantle that crew.
I mean, it didn't help that Jared Goff did not have a great game, and that's what I mean about his offense looking inconsistent at times. You know, he went 19 for 30 for 271 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. But it doesn't help when your defense gives up 13 receptions for 227 yards and a touchdown to CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
That does not help the cause at all.
But also, the fact that the game was a 1-point game, I mean, that says a lot about their defense as well. That, you know, even though they gave up that much yardage, they still kept them in the game.
Mm.
Because, I'm sorry, but if you have one receiver that has that many yards, it should be a blowout. You should be at least up by like 2 or 3 touchdowns at that point.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you only won by a point, and there's a questionable point at that you won by, yeah, I mean that doesn't say much about Dallas's offense either. So,
yeah, I just don't like when teams try and put the games into refs' hands. Like, try not to even put yourself in those situations.
I agree.
But again, yeah, it shouldn't. Like, they should have won 21-20. But Brad Allen said no. Both teams are now 11-5. This game we don't need to talk about too much. The Titans lose to the Texans 3-26. And we talked about those Titans earlier. How bad they are.
They got their ass whipped.
CJ Stroud was back for the Texans finally. He went 24 for 32, 213 yards and a touchdown. Ryan Tannehill had to replace Will Levis. Derrick Henry only had 12 carries for 42 yards, and DeAndre Hopkins for 72.
I'm sorry, if I was Derrick Henry, I would like get me the fuck out of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. This was just a ass whooping.
And I'm sure Hopkins is regretting going to Tennessee.
Well, I mean, I said that as soon as that trade happened, or as soon as he signed it, right? I said it. If I were to go back and find that episode, I was like, there was other way better teams that he could have gone to with more of opportunity to go in the playoffs. But he chose the Titans.
Well, I agree.
All right. You doing anything else on that game, Tony? There's not much to say about that. Texans, I think, improved to 7-9, maybe, or 9-7.
Yeah, there's a 3-way tie in that division for fucking first place. Go figure.
Mm-hmm. But it's actually like with winning records. I thought, again, with
all three of them are 9-7. The Jaguars, Colts, and Texans.
It's very impressive because, again, I went through my predictions last night and I crossed out teams that I got wrong. I got them Texans wrong, that's for damn sure. And you told me an own. And we'll hear about it at the end of the year. I know we will. But, that's okay. All right. Falcons. Lose to the Chicago Bears by 20 points, 17-37. Falcons, by the way, benched Desmond Ridder for Taylor Heineke.
Again?
Yeah. Permanently. But Taylor Heineke went 10 for 29, 160 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Russell Wilson goes to Atlanta, that they know what they're doing with quarterbacks. Justin Fields.
Not if Arthur Smith is still there.
Justin Fields had a good game, 20 for 32, 260 yards, 1 touchdown. Khalil Herbert actually showed up. It was a Khalil Herbert sighting, 18 carries for 120 yards and touchdown. DJ Moore had probably his game of the season, 959 yards and a touchdown. I mean, I expected the Bears to win, but not by 20 points.
That just goes to show that Arthur Smith doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Like, at all. Like the only thing I can give him credit for is his passion. He does seem very passionate out there, but it's not.
Passion doesn't win games.
Mm-hmm. Both teams are 7-9 now. Got anything on that, Tony?
No.
Now this game, if you want to read off the stats to this game, you can. This is a surprising game to me. Dolphins lose to the Ravens, 19.
No, wait. No. Let's say how it really should be said. The Dolphins got their ass whipped.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I picked the Ravens to win, but I was not expecting a 19-56 game. But again, I read off those injuries. I did read off those injuries. Raheem Mostert was out. Jalen Waddle was out. Bradley Chubb got injured. Tua got injured. So there's a little bit of an excuse, but not really, because Tua
got injured towards the end of the game.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you don't have Jalen Waddle, so the defense was able to focus a lot more on Tyreek Hill. And without Mostert, A-Chain was back there a lot more, where they're usually splitting time.
Yeah, but he had a game, though.
I know he did.
Carries for 107 yards and 4 receptions for 30 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, their defense is bad this game. Lamar had 5 touchdowns. Lamar's MVP this year. I just now.
So I was watching that game, and I knew the minute I seen Tyreek Hill drop a touchdown pass, the Dolphins was fucked. I just knew it. Because he literally had the ball in the end zone, towards the back of the end zone, and bobbled the ball. At that point, I was like, they're fucked. They're. And Lamar looked sharp as hell.
We have 3 incompletions.
Yeah,
and they're doing this without Mark Andrews.
And he had a perfect QBR rating.
As he should. I mean, the stats I'm looking at are fucking like Lamar stats that like
Flowers carved them up like there was no tomorrow. 3 catches for 106 yards. How the fuck you let him have 3 catches for 106 yards and a touchdown?
I just like that Lamar's doing a lot of this with his arm, not with his legs.
Yes.
Because he only had 3 or 6 carries for 35 yards. Which is what I've been griping on him about for a while, is that
he runs too much.
Yeah, he's a running quarterback, and that's what gets him injured. And now, again, throw only 3 incompletions all game, 320 yards and 5 touchdowns. Yeah, Isaiah likely had 2 of them.
There was 6 total touchdown passes in that game by Baltimore, because Todd Honey came in and threw a touchdown pass.
Of course he did. Just add some little salt into the wound. That was his only pass for 19 yards and touchdown.
Yeah.
Again, like it's just even more crazy that they're doing this without Mark Andrews. Like,
Yeah.
They looked a
That's
bit
crazy.
worse with Mark Andrews, which I don't know how.
80.
Mm-hmm. But the Ravens are the scariest team right now to me in the AFC.
They're the scariest team in the whole NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because after what they did to both for the 49ers, and then just whooping the shit out of the fucking Dolphins.
I don't think there's really any slowing them down right now.
Like I said, I firmly believe one of them is watching our podcast and not saying nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, yep, just keep talking shit. We got this.
Yep. No, like they have that one clip of the two of us laughing at them.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they're the most inconsistent good team out there. You know, you just can't seem to just win consistently or look good consistently. And they probably play it on a big screen in the locker room before every goddamn game. Like, you see? Or not.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Fucking 56 points. Jesus. 21 points in the second quarter. 21 points in the fourth quarter. Like, they were not slowing down. They were like, you're getting your asses whooped. Like, we put up 42 points in 2 quarters.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, Dolphins fall to 11-5. Baltimore and push to 13-3.
And I couldn't turn on another game because there was no other game on, so I was stuck watching that fucking debacle.
Oh, my guy Baker Mayfield, what happened today? The Saints beat the Buccaneers 23-13. Baker had a 500 game. 22 for 33, 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Derek Carr, he had 2 touchdowns with 197 yards. Not much to really say on this game. Just I'm surprised that Baker didn't have a better game because he's been having good games recently.
I mean, it wasn't too bad. What killed him probably was the 2 interceptions.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't think there was any turnovers by the Saints. Nope. Well, yeah, and then there was 2 fumbles lost by the Bucks as well.
So yeah, the turnovers is what killed him.
Mm.
But I will say this though, as much as I, made fun of Baker Mayfield and shit like this, I seriously think he's found a home in Tampa Bay.
I do too. He's looked so much better.
Yes. Like I said, as much as I make fun of him, yeah, he has. I believe he's found a home in Tampa Bay, and not to mention, if they manage to win the division, it'd be the first time in his career that he has led a team to the division title.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, yeah, you think of the AFC North. I mean,
yeah, that was dominated by the Steelers and Ravens.
And now Bengals. Like, Browns had no shot, especially with how he was playing. But this year, do you want to hear his stats just for this year?
Yeah, go ahead.
64.4 completion percentage, 3,907 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 10 receptions with a rating of 95.9.
So he has been protecting the ball.
Mm-hmm. Just had those 2 receptions.
So yeah, I mean,
like those are great numbers.
He's actually looking like the number one overall pick when they drafted him.
Mhm. This is now his most passing yards in his career in a single season.
So I mean, I'm actually hoping that the Bucks do keep him.
I think they kind of have to. I don't think they really have a choice.
'Cause I think he only signed a 1-year contract, wasn't it? I don't think it was a multi-year deal.
And it might have. But I just want to read off his next highest will be the 2019 season, where he threw 3,827 passing yards with 22 touchdowns and 21 interceptions. So a lot better of a season than that season.
Yes. Like I say, he's been protecting the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Which most teams, that's all they ask of the quarterback is not to turn the ball over.
Yeah, it was a 1-year, $4 million deal with the Bucks. So I think he's definitely going to get signed again, and it's going to be for more.
And just think about it. Here's what makes it even funnier. He signed a 1 year for basically $4 million. The Saints signed Derek Carr to a multi-year deal, and Mayfield's out playing Carr. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if I was the Bucks, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, let's bring him back. I mean, the receivers seem to like him.
Mm-hmm. Mike Evans is having another fantastic year.
If Godwin could just stay healthy.
Mm-hmm. 76 receptions, 1,233 yards, and 13 touchdowns.
So yeah, he's having a typical Mike Evans year.
Mm-hmm. Godwin, I know, has had some good games.
Yeah, he has.
He's definitely had good. Oh my god, yeah, that one against the Packers. Holy. 77 receptions, 973 yards, with only 2 touchdowns.
So he's getting the yardage, he's just not getting in the end zone.
Yeah, his highest this season was that game against the Packers with 10 receptions for 155 yards.
So he's gonna have a 1,000-yard season.
Again, his issue, staying healthy all the time. That's his only issue. And these two teams are now knotted up in that division, both at 8-8 now. Patriots gave the Bills a scare today.
I saw that.
Bills still win though, 21-27. The Patriots took the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. Josh Allen. What the fuck? 15 for 30, 169 yards, and 1 interception. But Bailey Zappi looked 100 times worse. 16 for 26, 209 yards, and 3 interceptions.
So basically, this was a let's see who could throw the most interception type of game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zappi had a rushing touchdown, along with Ezekiel Elliott had a rushing touchdown. Josh Allen had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, there was an Ezekiel Elliott sighting.
I know. And I don't know where the other points came from. Probably field goals.
Let's see.
It's 9 points for Tyler Bass.
So, like you said, the game started with the 98-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, so that's all the points for the Patriots, but 27 from the Bills. I
So then
only
you got the
saw the
Zappy one. So that counts for, yeah, that's your 21 points.
yeah, but the Bills.
So you got a 35-yard field goal, a Josh Allen 1-yard run,
It's 10,
24-yard field goal,
13.
a 40-yard interception return,
There you go. Yeah, 20.
and then another Josh Allen touchdown run.
Yeah, 27. Okay. But yeah, this is
Yeah,
the outcome that I expected, but not to be this close. Bills fans getting a scare there in Buffalo. That's for damn sure. With the hopes of being in the playoffs. New England falls to 4-12. Bills improve to 10-6. Got anything on that, Tony?
Not really. Although they did a job on Diggs, 4 catches for 26 yards.
Yeah, Diggs is unhappy. I don't see him being there next year.
I don't either.
This game, we could laugh at the Eagles now. Would you like to read off? I'll let you read off these stats because I know your hate for the Eagles is very high. So I'll let you read off these stats. Go ahead, take it away, Tony.
Cry, Eagles, cry. So Kyler Murray, 25 for 31 for 232 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. And there was a James Conner sighting. 26 carries for 128 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, in 2 fucking leagues. I'm in the championship and I have him on the fucking bench because he hasn't done nothing for the past 3 weeks, and now I'm on the bench in the championship.
Hold on. And he also had 1 reception for 5 yards for a touchdown.
Oh, I know he had 2 touchdowns because I got the notifications about it. I'm like, now I get to see Austin Eckler putting up 7, and I have 26 points sitting on my bench.
And I'm guessing Jalen Hurts ended up leaving the game because he didn't leave the game. It was one of the stupid trick plays. But Jalen Hurts went 18 for 23 for 167 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. And yeah, Julio Jones had 2 catches for 34 yards and 2 touchdowns.
The Julio Jones sighting, probably the last one ever.
That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, the
Eagles have fallen from very high atop the mountains. And I don't know where it came from. And I believe they were 10-1.
Well, here's the funny thing is, in the first half, they held Arizona to 2 field goals.
Yeah, it's 21-6.
Yeah. And then Michael Carter had a 6-yard pass from Kyler Murray. And then James Conner had a 5-yard pass from Kyler Murray. And then Dallas Goedert had a 9-yard catch from Hurts. But then Michael Wilson again, another 5-yard pass from Kyler Murray.
Yeah, the defense gave up 15 and 14 in the third and the fourth quarter.
And then James Conner had topped it off with a 2-yard run, which is what gave him the lead in the win.
Mm-hmm.
So the Mighty Eagles are no longer the Mighty Eagles.
No.
They're now the Mighty Eagles try.
Yeah, they were 10-1, and in the last 5, they're 1-4.
With the one coming against my Giants, and we almost turned around and came back to beat them.
Mm-hmm. Well, they could be 0-5 in the last 5.
Y'all thought I was crazy when I was picking my Giants.
Mm-hmm. The Cardinals, I said this before we started. They've now beaten both Pennsylvania teams. They've beaten the Cowboys. They almost beat your Giants, but the Giants did come back.
And they beat the Redskins.
Yeah. They almost beat the Commanders week 1. They didn't. Like, I said this from the beginning. They're the best bad team in the league.
Yes.
Like, if they keep it competitive, they don't get blown out very often. If they do, then the other team just had a fantastic game. But they keep it competitive in every game, in nearly every game that they've played. Or they win.
And even when Kyler Murray was out, and we had the legend of Josh Dobbs started, he kept him in every game, just about every game.
Mm-hmm. Like, yes, they've been bad this season, but again, it's been a surprising, like...
They've been the best bad team in the league.
Yeah, like, they lost opening week by 4. Again, they were winning the entire game against your Giants. And they only lost by 30. They beat the Cowboys, lost to the Niners by 19, which that's the 49ers. Like, that's I can excuse that one. They lost to the Bengals by 14. That was when the Bengals were struggling, so then they played the Cardinals and they looked really good against the Cardinals, so whatever.
That's what got the Bengals back on track.
Mm-hmm. They lost to the Rams 9-26, lost to the Seahawks by 10, only lost to the Ravens by 7, lost to the Browns by 27, they got shut out. They lost to the Falcons by 2, lost to the Texans by 5, lost by a lot to the Rams 37-14. They beat
the second matchup,
Yeah, they beat the Steelers 24.
And I think that was Murray's first or second game back, though.
Yeah. They lost to the Niners by 14 or so, I think 16. They lost to the Bears by 11, and they just beat the Eagles. So for that roster being like as depleted as it has been, and again without Kyler Murray
for the first half of the season.
Yeah. Again, I'll say it again. The best good team, but the best good bad team in the league.
I agree.
Again, now the Eagles are 11-5, being 10-1. This game, I'm just gonna go right now. Panthers lose 0-26.
That was even without fucking
Trevor Lawrence. I know. That's why I'm going right past it. Raiders lose to the Colts 20-23. Again, there was no Josh Jacobs today for the Las Vegas Raiders. Aiden O'Connell.
He might be their quarterback of the future.
Mm-hmm. He's looked really good. He's a rookie this year, right? He's like a third round rookie.
Yeah.
He had just 1 yard under 300 passing yards and he had 2 touchdowns.
And Devontae Adams found the end zone twice.
Yeah, so he had both of Aiden O'Connell's touchdowns.
And just think, this game was without Josh Jacobs.
Well, I mean, he's been almost non-existent all year anyway.
Well, yeah, true.
Zamir White, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but he had 20 carries for 71 yards for the Raiders. Jonathan Taylor, he showed up again after his injury, 21 carries for 96 yards, touchdown. Minshew Power, 224 passing yards and touchdown. Alec Pierce had that receiving touchdown. That was the only catch of the game. Raiders do fall to 7-9. Indianapolis improves to 9-7 again in the division that we just talked about. Through a tie at the top at 9-7. Anything on that game, Tony?
Nope, it's going to be interesting next week to see who comes out on top of that division.
Mm-hmm. It'll probably come down to a tiebreaker. All right, Tony, I am sorry, but the Rams beat the Giants 26-25.
I'm not bad.
Well, I mean, we gotta talk about it. I know that you probably watched this game, right? Or no?
No, because Fox was showing fucking Friends. That's why I said I was stuck watching the Dolphins or Ravens debacle. But Tyrod Taylor did pretty good. He was 27 for 41 for 319 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Barkley's been basically non-existent this season. 12 carries for 39 yards. There was a Darius Slayton sighting this today. 4 catches for 106 yards and a touchdown.
Holy shit.
Yeah, exactly. And Wande Robinson had 6 catches for 55 yards, but he also had a 1 carry for 24 yards and a touchdown. So you gotta love those jet sweeps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, actually, Stafford and Taylor almost had similar stats. Because Stafford was 24 for 34 for 317 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Williams got into the end zone 3 times on 20 carries for 87 yards. Pikin Ochuka was found again. 5 carries for 118 yards.
Finally. Only took him how fucking long to come back and do something.
Yeah, they kept Cooper. I mean, Cooper Kupp had a touchdown, but they kept him pretty much quiet. 4 catches for 27 yards. Yeah, so looks like we had a punt return for a touchdown as well.
Wow.
94 yards.
Yes, we're doing everything today. Getting interceptions, punt returns. Slayton showed up.
That was the touchdown that if we could have got the 2-point conversion would have gave us the win.
Mm-hmm.
Because the 2-point conversion failed. Yeah, Darius Slayton had an 80-yard pass from Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, this game was pretty much back and forth.
Which is good. I mean, it's not like I expected you guys to get blown out, but to only lose by 1 is really impressive.
Especially after a week after benching Tommy DeVito.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't help that Mason Crosby missed a 54-yard field goal for you guys.
Yeah. If he would have hit that, we probably would have won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Los Angeles improves to 9-7. Giants fall to 5-11. Anything else to say on your Giants there, Tony?
Not really. It was just in the press. I mean, Even though they didn't win, it was still it was. I mean, it was an impressive game.
Mm-hmm. Like 49ers beat the Commanders like they should have, 27-10 today.
This is a shocker.
Brock Purdy did what he needed to, 230 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Elijah Mitchell showed up because I think CMC got injured. Yeah. Elijah Mitchell had 17 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. Ayuk had 7 receptions for 114 yards and a touchdown. Terry McLaurin. There was a Terry McLaurin signing, everyone. Yeah,
So
12 receptions for 61 yards.
CMC left the game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a calf injury.
But yeah, I mean, he probably like if it was earlier in the season, I could see him maybe coming back from it. But being this close to the playoffs, they're not gonna risk anything with him.
They better not. That'd be stupid.
Mm-hmm. Not much to really say about this game. I mean, Sam Howell, 17 for 28, 115 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Well, that was pretty much the only offense that they had because rushing was horrible and every other passing was horrible for them.
Yeah, this game, it looked like it was just a sloppy game.
Yeah, Stanford bounces back after losing to the Ravens last week to improve to 12-4. Washington falls to 4-12.
Which also allowed the 49ers to clinch the number 1 spot.
As we got to hear about from my dad, as if we didn't know that already. The Pittsburgh Steelers go into Seattle and beat the Seahawks 30-23. Mason Rudolph has been our answer, and I was not expecting that to happen.
I don't think nobody was. But then again, your options were him or Trubisky.
468 total yards on offense. Never thought I'd be saying that this year. That's for sure. Okay, Najee Harris. Holy shit. Najee Harris came to play today.
Oh, I don't know if you've seen the stiff arm he gave to Tariq Woolen. Oh, my, it was a Derrick Henry type of stiff arm.
All right, I'm going on YouTube. Let me see this. Because I'm
sure. It was one of those, get off me, where he lifted him off his feet.
You keep reading off the stats if you want to, Tony, if you're on them. If not, I'll read them off.
Yeah, Harris had 27 yards for 222 yards, 27 carries for 222 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Warren had 13 carries for 75 yards and a touchdown. So yeah, nearly almost 200 yards. Actually, they did end up over 200 yards of rushing as a team because Rudolph had 5 carries for 5 yards. There was a Pickens sighting, 7 catches for 131 yards.
I mean, he's been good this year. He now has over 1,000 receiving yards.
Geno Smith didn't play too bad. He was 23 for 33 for 290 and a touchdown. Kenneth Walker, he's a beast, but once they got down, they started to have to go to the air a lot. But he had 10 carries for 53 yards in a touchdown. 53 yards on 10 carries already. So just imagine if they wasn't down, if they was able to keep running the ball. DK Metcalf had 5 catches for 106 yards. And that was all basically the major big stats for the receivers. I mean, Lockett only had...
Tyler Lockett didn't even have a catch.
Yeah, he had 1 catch for 10 yards.
What would he do?
Yeah.
Noah Fant, which we talked about earlier, had 5 receptions for 59 yards.
So did you see the stiff arm?
Oh yeah, that was a get off me. That oof.
Like I said, that was a Derrick Henry type of stiff arm.
Mm-hmm. Oof.
Yeah, he was in beast mode today.
Yeah, he showed up today. And Jalen Warren got in the end zone as well.
This win also guaranteed Mike Tomlin another
winning
non-losing season.
Mm-hmm.
That is impressive.
Mm-hmm. With all the turmoil that's happened this year and recently with George Pickens and his effort, I'll take a winning season. I said this at the beginning of the year. I said it at the beginning of every year. As long as we get a winning season, I'm happy. You know, like we can't control making the playoffs because of situations and scenarios every year. But as long as we have a winning season, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and I even think I even predicted you guys to come up with like 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah, I predicted 10-7. So if we win next week, I got that right.
Because I think I said you guys would be like 10-7 or like 9-8, something like that. I said you guys would definitely be over 500.
Yeah, sometime soon I'm gonna have to go back on that episode and write down everyone's predictions because like I don't know if you have yours saved on your phone or not. Owen might have his written down.
No, I don't have mine. I have to go back through.
All right. Yeah. Again, Steelers improved to 9-7. Seahawks followed at 8-8. Next 2 games: Bengals and Chiefs. Bengals lose 17-25. Pretty entertaining game. Jake Browning went 19 for 33, 97 yards and touchdown. And Patrick Mahomes went 21 for 29, 240 yards and touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, he was questionable with a concussion. He had 18 carries for 130 yards, so thank God he played. And Rashee Rice, he had 5 receptions for 127 yards. So a great game from him.
And Pacheco did find the end zone on a receiving, on a catching the end for 7. He had 7 receptions for 35 yards and a touchdown.
Nothing really on the Bengals side happened. Jake Browning had a rushing touchdown, so those were the 2 touchdowns for them today.
Well, Joe Mixon found the end zone.
No, he didn't.
He had a receiving touchdown.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fuck, he did. 4 carries for 20 yards and touchdown. Here's for Joe Mixon. Yeah, nothing. This game was entertaining. 2 offenses that are struggling right now for different reasons.
But the Chiefs look like they're in more of a rhythm without Kadarius Toney.
Mm-hmm. Because he's in the way.
Yeah. Like I said, I got a feeling he's going to be cut at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. And he's not going to get picked up by any team. Or he should.
Unless they're really desperate.
Mm-hmm. The Bengals improved to 8-8, or fall to 8-8. The Chiefs improved to 10-6. Anything? I want to move on if you have something to say.
No, just gotta move on.
All right. Last game, very boring game. Chargers lose to the Broncos 9-16. Stidham in his first start, 20 for 32, 224 yards and touchdown for the Broncos. But Jordan Humphrey, two receptions for 69 yards and touchdown. Don't ask who that is. I don't know who that is. Yeah.
I don't know, but the backup quarterback for the Chargers, he didn't play too bad. 24 for 38 for 220 yards.
Yeah. and I don't think he turned the ball over as far as like a fumble goes. He didn't have an interception. I don't think he had a fumble. I mean, this game was even in a lot of facets.
Yeah.
Like, it was very even. Passing yards, total yards, rushing yards, like everything. It was just one game.
The only difference was the Broncos was able to find the end zone.
Mm-hmm. That was it. That was the only difference.
His name is Little Jordan Humphrey.
Yeah. Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Okay.
Yeah, Denver improves to 8-8. Chargers fall to 5-11. And the game that's going on now, there's no money in that game. So the game that's going on now is the Packers and Vikings. Big playoff implications there for both teams.
Yeah, it's 3-0 Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both at 7-8. I don't think there's a Monday night game.
No, there's not. There's no Monday night game.
That's what I thought. All right, now we just got did everybody get their picks in for this week or?
Will did.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. For week 17.
Yeah.
Will did. I did almost forget, but I did do them.
I almost forgot too. I remember at the last, I was like, shit. It was Thursday. I was like, fuck, I gotta get my picks in.
Mm-hmm. Week 17. Again, it's crazy. It's week 17 already. We all pick the Browns in that game. We all got that one right. In the Refs versus Lions game,
yeah, pretty much.
Me and you picked the Lions. We got it wrong. Owen picked the Cowboys. Got it right. Yeah. The Refs. Me and Owen picked the Bears. You picked the Falcons. You got that one wrong.
I'm done with the fucking Falcons.
You keep going with your guy, Bijan Robinson, and that's what you keep picking.
Yeah, I'm as long as Arthur Smith is there, I'm done.
Even if they're playing the Panthers?
Even they couldn't beat the Panthers 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, no. We all picked the Colts.
Remember my rant on how they couldn't beat a team that scored and kicked 3 field goals?
Mm-hmm. We all picked the Colts in this game. We all got that one right. Again, I commend you for going with your team every single time. Rams beat the Giants, so you got that one wrong. Me and Owen got it right. We all picked the Texans and the Bills in these next 2 games. We both got those right. And we all picked the Eagles. We got that one wrong, which they should have won, but they didn't. Me and you with my guy Baker Mayfield against the Saints. We got that one wrong. Owen picked the Saints. We got that one right. In these next 3 games, me, you, and Owen will pick the Niners, Jags, and Ravens. We got that one right. You and Owen picked the Seattle Seahawks. I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I got that one right. You guys got it wrong. I was very leery. Yeah, I was like leery on picking them, but I'm like, we did good with Mason Rudolph. I'm gonna ride that wave right now. And me, you, and Owen all picked the Broncos and the Chiefs, and we both got it, and we all got them right. I picked the Vikings in this game. You've picked the Packers.
Yeah, they're already losing 10-0.
I just said screw it. You have the point total at 30. I have it at 56. Owen has it at 47.
Oh, the last week of the season. So we got the Browns and the Bengals.
With how Joe Flacco's been playing,
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Browns.
yeah,
I'm
Joe
going with the
Flacco.
Browns. I'm going with Joe Flacco.
hmm
And then we got the Lions and Vikings.
Lions. They're gonna come out.
They're pissed.
It's listen, they're gonna whoop that ass. Oh my goodness.
Packers, Bears.
Are the Bears gonna be good 2 weeks in a row? I think so, especially against the Packers. Yeah, I'm going Bears.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bears too. Jaguars and Titans, and now remember Jacksonville's on the road. We know how that turns out.
And it's for the division.
So
That means this game, wow.
yes, this game is going to actually decide the division.
Wow.
I'm riding CJ Stroud.
Me too. Especially with the Colts not having Anthony Richardson, my favorite injury report MVP this year. I'm noticing that every game is a division game.
I mean, it would be kind of disrespectful the way if, as much as I talked them at the beginning of the season and all throughout the season, to not pick them in this game, in this big game, would be kind of disrespectful. So I gotta go with the Houston.
Yeah, I went with Houston as well.
Broncos and Raiders.
I'm going with Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders.
So am I.
He's looked really good.
Yeah, he has. Now, this game is also going to be for the division.
Alrighty then.
Bills and Dolphins.
I'm gonna pick the Dolphins, leaning towards if they get Jalen Waddle back, if they get Raheem Mostert back, and Tua is fully healthy going into this game. I'm picking the Dolphins at home against the Bills, who again have looked up and down all year long.
I'm going with the Bills.
Oh.
Just for the simple fact, in their first meeting, they shut down Miami's Dolphins. I think they could do it again. Then we got the Jets and Patriots.
I'm going Jets.
Yeah.
Zappy throws like 5 interceptions this game.
Saints.
Your Atlanta Falcons against the Saints.
Saints.
Yeah, the Saints. Ooh.
Still going my Giants.
I know you are. I'm going Eagles.
I mean, hell, they let the fucking Cardinals come back to win.
Speaking of the Cardinals.
Ooh.
I'm going to go Seattle here.
Yeah, because they're fighting for a playoff spot. Chiefs and Chargers.
I know Chiefs. Yeah.
Ooh, Rams and 49ers.
I'm going Niners. Since they've clinched the number 1 seed, I could see them sitting a lot of their starters. So if that happens, then I will probably change it to the Rams. But as of right now, I'll go with the Niners until.
Same here. Oh, fuck.
The refs versus the Commanders. Go with the refs.
Yeah, sorry, Owen.
Because there's no shot. The Commanders beat them.
I'm going with your guy, Baker Mayfield.
They better beat the fucking Panthers.
Because that's for the division. Oh, shit. Your Steelers and the Ravens.
I picked the Steelers.
Well, the Ravens no longer have anything to play for. Because they already got the division. They got the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I picked the Steelers.
So, yeah. I'm going with your Steelers.
And just to kind of hope that they get to 10-7 to get my prediction right.
And the total scores between the Browns and Bengals.
Yeah, Joe Flacco's looked really good.
I'm gonna say 55.
I was about to say either 55 or 56. I'll say 58. I'll just do 3 more than you.
Because I see like a 30 to 25 type of game.
Mm.
All right. Well, so that concludes our podcast for today.
I actually have one more thing.
What's that, bud?
I want to congratulate the Detroit Pistons on winning a game for the first time since October 28th. They won against the Toronto Raptors. They snapped an NBA record 28-game losing streak.
Holy shit.
The other night. They didn't win in over 2 months. I just wanted to
know that.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of sit and laugh at that. But yeah, the Pistons finally won after, again, losing 28 straight. That's an NBA record now.
So just out of curiosity, what is their record? Like 2 and something?
Let me see. Their record is 3-29. So they were 2-1.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, and somehow they're only 3 games back of the Wizards. The Wizards are 6-26, and the Hornets are 7-23.
That's.
But yeah, I just wanted to end on a bit of a laugher there. They finally won after losing 28 straight. And it was against the Toronto Raptors, who, again, that day traded away OG Anunoby. On that day is when they traded him away, and then they lose to the Pistons.
So they basically beat an undermanned team.
Hey, win's a win.
Well, yeah, I mean,
After
I'm not gonna argue
losing
that.
28 straight, you gotta get lucky sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Knicks are 17-15. Heat are 19-13. Celtics top at 25-6. Spurs are 5-26, so they're not much better than the Pistons.
Oh no, I just saw that.
5-26 with Victor Wembanyama.
And Portland's 9-22.
Mm-hmm. There's some bad teams this year. Like,
Although I never thought I expected to see Minnesota 24-7.
mm-hmm. They are looking real good with Anthony Edwards, Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert. When he's not getting choked out by Draymond Green. Karl Anthony Towns, Jade McDaniels. They have some good pieces off that bench too that they really, really like. So yeah, they're doing really good.
We don't need Draymond coming to choke us.
Oh, I know. I mean, he's currently in counseling. Actually, he's independently in counseling. So that's the only update on him that we have. But yeah, and to me, the most disappointing team in the NBA right now either has to be the Suns or the Warriors. Suns are 16-15, and the Warriors are 15-17. Those are my
that team that the Suns have. Yeah, that is. I think the Suns are the most disappointing.
I mean, Beal has missed. I don't even know how many games. But yeah, that team has been very, very disappointing this season.
Although it's kind of funny that every team that Kevin Durant goes to, players always end up hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I just really wanted to just end it on a laugh with the Pistons finally getting the win since October 28th.
It was a good one. Oh, you want to do the closing, bud?
Yeah, I'll do it. All right. Once again, that ends our podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Anyone who tuned in on this New Year's Eve. Hope that you all have a very fun but also safe New Year's Eve. Drink responsibly, drive responsibly. Just be responsible on this New Year's Eve. Me and Tony again had a blast doing this week's episode. We do apologize again for missing last week's. Hope that this week's episode made it up to you guys. And again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And for next time, it's been Dope Ass Jeff, Big Time Tony. We'll see you guys next week.
We'll see everybody in the new year.
Happy New Year, everyone.